Hello. I just watched The Lighthouse, and I want. That's a lie. That's the only line from the script I remember. I'm going up right off the dome here. Uh, um, yeah, no, I've not just watched Lighthouse. I watched it a couple of days ago actually, and in case you didn't see on Scandi Reviews, if you didn't subscribe, then I reviewed it as well. Yeah, I want to talk about The Lighthouse because I feel it was a very good movie. Yeah, I want to talk about Lighthouse. A quick synopsis for the fellas at home that haven't, fellas and fellettes. Sorry, I shouldn't discriminate. Yeah, okay. The Lighthouse follows two men, one called Ephraim Winslow and the other called Thomas Wake. Yep. They're stranded on an island outside of New England, and they man a lighthouse on that island. The film is a psychological horror thriller. It was filmed with black and white film. It's not okay. I need to talk about this quickly. I'm going to put my mic down. It was filmed with actual black and white film, and not just the black and white where someone will just film it in color and then put it to black and white and post. It was actually filmed in black and white film, and it's in a 1.19:1 aspect ratio, so it's almost square, which perfectly fits the the filmmaking of the time it's set in. It's set in the late 1900s or it's not, the late 1800s or 19th century if you're nasty. Yeah, it's a very good film. It shows the descent of Ephraim Winslow into madness after he lives on that island for so long, completely cut off from society, with the guilt and sorry, I got a notification. Yeah, the guilt of his previous life before getting on the island, and it's very good. It's like surprisingly good for the the expectations I went in. I said this in my review, and I've said this to friends, and I've said this to myself when I went to watch it. I expected it to be nothing more than a stage play with nice visuals and some rain, some ocean, and I couldn't have been further from the truth. It does feel like a stage play in the scenes where Wake and Ephraim Winslow are talking, but that's where the comparison begins and ends. It's nothing like that. The visuals, I'll talk about the visuals first. The visuals are outstanding. When a film is black and white, the visuals have to stand out. It has to be aesthetically perfect, so that the lack of color doesn't draw away your focus, and so you don't get distracted or bored during the film. And this does it perfectly. There's one shot of Wake up in the lighthouse tower where the light is the Fresnel light, that kind of takes you out of the film for a brief second, because there's a CGI tentacle when Wake is performing a ritual, which I will not say because my mother might be watching this. But yeah, he's masturbating. There's a lot of masturbation in this film. I'm sorry, Mum. That kind of takes you out of the film for a second, but then once you get back into the film, there's nothing like that. There is some more CGI, but the shot is more filled with Robert Pattinson's face and Willem Dafoe's face. So the aspect ratio as well. I never really discussed the aspect ratio, because for most films it's the same 4:3 ratio. It's boring. It's just fits on the screen quite nicely. but the aspect ratio for this film makes it so claustrophobic, as well as the island it's set on, making it feel even more claustrophobic. Claustrophobia ception. That joke would have worked in like whatever year that film came out. I was gonna say claustrophobia squared. Yeah, claustrophobia squared. Let's go with it. And yeah, you know, good. The performances. I want to talk about Willem Dafoe first, because I feel like he should have won an Oscar for this. You can say it with most of Willem Dafoe's roles. He is perfect for it. He knows the exact amount of insanity to bring to a role. Not in the Nicolas Cage screaming insanity, but the over the top performance he brings is perfect for the film. I realised what I need to say. What I didn't remember, you know, the words. Willem Dafoe brings the perfect amount of insanity and realism to the character that he does with most characters he plays, but this one more so, because his monologues. Okay, his monologues. I need to use my hands, so I'm putting the mic down that isn't even plugged in. His monologues are out of this world. If I don't even know, they're so perfect for his character. The writing, which I'll talk about later on, because I need to talk about Robert Eggers' incredible writing and direction of this film, makes him feel like the character, which is a given with most characters, but this is painfully real. You can imagine this character making this monologue hundreds and thousands of times when people piss him off, you know, because that's what happens in the film. And the amazing thing is, he's able to bounce off of Robert Pattinson incredibly well, which isn't something you'd really think. You would never expect Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson to have incredible chemistry in this film, but this film shows how incredible and talented the two are. Also, his accent, Willem Dafoe's accent in this film is wonderful. I love it. He's so insanely perfect that it makes me genuinely upset, because I feel like I'm never going to get to that point of acting. You thought I was lazy? You thought I wouldn't move the camera? Of course I'll move the camera. Robert Pattinson's performance is the perfect performance for him to revitalise his reputation among critics and film fans, cinephiles, because after Twilight he had been critically panned as a terrible actor, and that's not the case. He's done independent films which I've not seen, but I've heard incredibly good things about them, and this one with Willem Dafoe was perfect, because Willem Dafoe is probably one of the most talented actors of any generation. He's probably the best actor working today, bar De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio. He's outstanding in every film he's in, and the fact Robert Pattinson was able to be at the level where he was being mentioned in conversations for an Oscar, when he had to act up to the level of Willem Dafoe, speaks volumes for his talent. He shows his range in mere scenes. He goes from, you know, a sane, stable man to completely insane in seconds. His range from going to a straight man at the start to bounce off a wake and, you know, be an outlet for the audience to put themselves into is flipped, and then Wake is the straight man to his insane character. They're both unreliable protagonists, and I know I talked about that a little bit in Taxi Driver, but there's so much ambiguity in this film. There's so many questions left unanswered that it's perfect for a rewatch, but there's so much is answered that is perfect. If you watch it once and then never watch it again, then it's fine. Sorry, someone just commented on my review and I got a notification for it now. It's so perfect as a film. The writing to make the two seem insane, because the one I'm sorry, I'm a bit jumbled now. One way I saw the film described is the two men are going insane, and that's what I thought initially, but you can see it as just one of them going insane, or the final shot of Ephraim Winslow laid down on the rocks with the seabirds pecking at him as he slowly dies. That's his state for the entire film, and what we see is what's going on through his head, his final recap of his life before he dies. There's so many ways you can look at it. You can, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think I said when I started this tangent, it answers so much but leaves so much unanswered. Like even the scene where Wake says, like, I knew you were insane when you attacked me with that axe. After we saw Wake chasing him with an axe, which is one of the trailer shots for the film, is Thomas Wake chasing Winslow with a... Winslow isn't even his real name. I can't actually remember his real name, but when I cut this bit, I'll be able to, or I'll just edit it in. Chases him with an axe, but then it turns out that he didn't chase him with an axe. It was Winslow chasing him with an axe. But then we see Wake actually attack him with an axe after he is buried alive. I don't know. There's also the one of the final shots, because there's a big storm in the film. If you haven't watched it, then I'm sorry, I'm spoiling it, but you clicked on this video willingly, or I said, hey yo, go watch this video for me please. There's a shot when Winslow and Wake finish fighting, and Winslow takes Wake out to the outside of the cottage, and he starts digging him a grave. But the conflict started when a storm was brewing, because Winslow killed a seabird, and it's bad luck to kill a seabird apparently. I heard that like 50 times. So he kills a seabird, the wind changes and a storm happens. But then when they get outside, the storm's finished. They're so caught up in their conflict, they can't see the thing that caused them to hate each other, to fight, to argue, to damn near kill each other. It's gone. The lighthouse, the goal of being the man in the light was so big in Winslow's mind that it overtook everything. It overtook his own safety. And the shot of it being calm outside. It's very good. It's a very good film. There can be a lot said about the themes. There's a lot of sorry mum. There's a lot of homoeroticism. A theme of homoeroticism, in that they get drunk, they dance along to sea shanties, and then they slow dance, and it looks like they're gonna kiss, and then they don't. They start fighting, and then there's a really intimate scene where they're just talking, where Winslow spills his beans and reveals that the real Ephraim Winslow I've said a lot of different ways to say it, Ephraim. I'm just trying to tick all the boxes, you know. Where he spills his beans, and Wake just disappears, and he's like, "Why'd you spill your beans? Why'd you spill your beans?" The guilt and the surroundings causing him to give out this information that he led to the death of his supervisor, took on his identity and became a drifter after Wake had already suspected him of being a drifter, because he went from working in timber to being a wickie, which is just a lighthouse worker. The final shot as well is one of the most disturbing scenes I've ever watched in a film. No, not the last shot. The penultimate shot of after Winslow kills Wake, kills him with an axe. But Wake attacks him with an axe after saying, "Why'd you attack me with an axe?" And then Winslow just pulls the axe out, stabs him in the head. He finally gets up to the lighthouse, heaven for them, because some people have likened it to purgatory. The film could be Winslow and Wake in purgatory, and then him getting up to heaven, being the light, is him actually being in hell. And there's just this extended shot of Robert Pattinson staring into the light as he screams, and the scream gets distorted until it's, the noise is unrecognizable, and I think it's the sound of a foghorn. There's a theme throughout the film, or a motif actually, I'll be pretentious, there's a motif of the foghorn always being on, because it's New England, it's quite foggy. I've never been to New England, but I've read that it's quite foggy, and then the scream is just distorted and replaced by this foghorn before he falls down. It's a very good film. Sorry, something just fell off my desk. To try and end this film out, this review out, or this ramble, I should say, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. To be honest, all things considered, I think it'll go down as one of the best films. Well, definitely I think the best film of 2019. I also didn't mention that Pattinson's voice, I'll just add this on, I'll not edit this in. Pattinson's accent is perfect for his character, but I did feel it was a bit shaky at some points, which is something that didn't diminish my enjoyment of the film, but it was a bit shaky with when his accent changed. But it's good for his character, because his character's a drifter who moved from Canada down to Maine and then got a job. But when he shouts, it changes a bit, but because he's trying to have a different identity to his actual identity, it's pretty good. It's fair. It's fair. So 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Okay, I forgot to say this in the original recording of this video, but that camera doesn't look very good there. The writing of the film is perfect. It sets the film in the time it was, obviously it's supposed to be set in, but the dialogue is so unique to that time that it's perfect. It's the dialogue's perfect, because Robert Eggers, and his brother, when they were writing the script, they just traced through pages and pages of main fisherman to get the dialogue, and with that was for Wake's dialogue, so he would sound like an authentic Maine fisherman, and with Winslow they looked through Maine farmers to give him, because he was a timberman before he became a wickie, which is a lighthouse worker, which I think I said in the first one, but it's just to reiterate. So he was a timberman, and that's close to a farmer, so the dialogue is unique to those jobs and the period it's set in, which is perfect. As well, something I forgot to say when I was talking about the visuals, the film's shot to visualize the imperfections in the skin. The film is very raw in the camera work. Shows like the cracks and the wrinkles, puts a lot of emphasis on that for everything except the mermaid, who's I think I was reading something, or I was listening to a video where they explained that they shot the scene where the mermaid was in the frame with a different film, so it would be it would limit those imperfections to add to the illusion that he's actually hallucinating a mermaid, and I think that's perfect, because it shows that despite them being in a film and despite them being famous actors and gorgeous, they look rugged. Wake more than Winslow, because Wake is like, he comes across as a man who's been at sea for his entire life, with his stories and his limp and his cracked face, and his beard, that glorious beard. Wow. So, oh yeah, that's it. Okay. I think this will be a little behind post-credit scene for my video. So, thank you. Bye.